What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Wingers and Defenders. Today we'll be talking about Leo Messi and the disaster class of FC Barcelona. And we'll be talking about whether or not he's going to Manchester City. Hopefully not, but foregone conclusion pretty much that he's going to be playing for Pep Guardiola next season. Joe's favorite fraud guy, so that's going to be an interesting way to go. We had to throw that in at the start. But Joe, Jake, how you guys doing today quickly?
So I'm gonna go first because I think Joe, guys, if you listeners, Joe has had an absolute howler today. He's had a stinker.
This is the fifth time we're trying to record the intro, and he's
my power's going out. My power's going out. I just started.
It's 2:22 on my phone. We've been trying this for over an hour. It's been a stinker. He's having almost as big a stinker as Barcelona has. Barcelona, you can argue that Barcelona's having a worse time than Joe is currently.
Definitely.
Well, debatable. I'm not feeling too great. I'm vexed about the Messi situation. I think he did need to move. He needed to find a new club. Barcelona is definitely not the place he needs to be if he wants to just continue to sustain where he's at a level of being like the best to ever play the game. He needs to leave Barcelona. I think almost everyone understands that except for President Bartomeu and Ronald Koeman, who we'll get into later. It's just shocking. I'm very upset about this.
Joe.
And I'm Joe. Yeah, I'm Joe.
Like they don't know who you are.
It's our podcast. If this is our first episode, how are they going to determine who it is? They're listening on Spotify or something like that. They don't know who we are.
Oh, now he's acting like I'm the problem. All right, just tell us how you're feeling, my guy.
I'm feeling angry. Why is he going to Pep? I don't want to be with Pep. I like Messi. I like Messi, and now I have to root against him because agenda triumphs everything, and I need my Pep agenda to be like, what? Something going on? What's so funny?
I said, hi, I'm Joe. I hate him. All right, we can move on.
All right, I'll just start talking. So
yes, please.
Let's just start off with FC Barcelona's side and what on earth they were doing. Meanwhile, we got. For the viewers on YouTube, you'll see what Joe's doing over on the on the other corner for me.
I'm laughing.
All right, so we'll just start off with this. Ronald Koeman came out yesterday, and quotes came out and said that he told the best player probably ever that the privileges are gone. The privileges are gone. Excuse me? And he told them to worry about the team. My guy, have you seen what Barcelona looks like in the last 5 years since Neymar's left? Do you live under a rock? Just because you manage an international team does not mean you should be paying attention to club football, because clearly Messi has privileges and he should, because he deserves them when he's the best player in the world. Joe, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. I don't understand why he wouldn't like. It's not like his privileges like you're allowed to be late to practice or something like that. It's just like privileges on the pitch. Like you can if you want to do change something up, you have freedom. Like Messi's not a non-team player. He's doing everything for the best interest of the team. But if you're telling him you can't be your free self, which is what he excels at, why would you want to be there? Why not go back to a coach that you were probably your favorite coach and one that you won so much with in Pep Guardiola? It makes sense to me.
Who's that? Who's Lord Farquaad?
Bartholomew the Great. What is this history? That's because you're the one that's frozen.
Well, we gotta rock with this because we've been doing this for 2 hours. So we gotta keep going.
I swear, just kick me out of the Zoom.
All right, keep going.
You're fine.
Okay, I'm back. Where was I?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
The main character of this thing.
What? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Pep is donkey. Pep is
Oh
Pep is donkey. He's the best friend, right? So That's why Shrek is trying to find his best friend again. Not Pep. Shrek, being Messi, is trying to find his best friend again, and that's why he's going to City, where Donkey or Pep is.
Oh my goodness! I can't, my guy. What in the world? Oh. Don't become
Is
Ryan.
that, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? So Shrek
Joe,
references,
you just called Pep Guardiola donkey.
yeah, because he's not the main character. He's the best friend. He's the best friend.
Oh my. Well, it's horrible.
Is there a problem? He's the side. He's like the best friend. He's the guy that they're going on the adventure together. They're going on an adventure together. That's the story. The story is the two are going on the adventure together. Shrek, being Messi, is the main character in the situation because this is a messy situation. Where is he going to go? He wants to have Donkey, Pep Guardiola, join him because they're two best friends. I don't see the issue with that.
All right, Jake. What are your thoughts on Coleman's comments?
I'm gonna ignore everything that Joe just said.
What's
I know what he
No,
was
Joe,
trying to say.
stop.
I know what you were trying to say, but that analogy was so shocking. It was so shocking. I'm just gonna
Explain. How's that wrong? What was wrong about that explanation?
Shrek and Donkey
We're on the Shrek.
and Lord Farquaad.
What's wrong with that? We're going with the Lord Farquaad.
Are we being serious right now? Are we being serious?
It's just a reference. It's an analogy.
A good one.
For the viewers on YouTube, you're seeing how much of a disaster class Joe has had.
It's not a great analogy, but it's a decent one. Because when I think of Bartholomew the Great over there in Barcelona, I think
calling him that. Why do you keep calling him that?
I can't
call him the
because I
Great?
can't say his
Why
real
is it
name.
the Great? Why is it the Great?
I can't say his name. It's like Bartholomew. I can't say his name. So it's the only thing I can say is Bartholomew. Like, at least I'm not saying Beowulf.
But why are you saying the Great? After?
Why did he just say that?
Like, if you butcher his name, fine. But why do you say the Great?
Isn't
All
Bartholomew?
right, let's
the
just
great
move
person?
away from this, please.
Or no, is that not a person? Is Bartholomew the Great's a person, right?
Okay, how I feel about Coleman's situation. I think if you're looking at the Barcelona board and who they appointed as the next manager of Barcelona, you can't be that surprised. They're a shocking board, shocking members of the board. They're going to hire a shocking manager who in the first few days of him being employed by the club, who no one in the club, no supporters wanted at the club, is going to alienate the best player at that club, the best player to ever play the game, to ever play the sport. You need to build a team around Messi, and alienating him by saying he can't have the freedom that he wants in the game is just proof that you're clueless. You've lost the plot as a manager. You need Messi to run games for you and let other people build off of him. You don't say you're going to play in my system now. Well, Messi's he transcends all systems because he is the best player to ever play the game. You don't tell him in the first 3 days of you being employed, and also he already wants to leave as it is. It makes it like he want to leave. You don't just tell him that, oh yeah, you have no more privileges, which he didn't have. He was a normal player, working the hardest in the team, being the best player, top scorer, top assister every year for I don't know how long, and you're going to alienate him on your first 2 days on the job. It's shocking. But I mean, yeah, the club is in shambles. They're probably, for being the biggest club in Europe, they probably have the most problems as far as from the top down, from players in the first team all the way up through the president and the board. And, their fans, the supporters are absolutely done with the club. Clubs around Europe are shocked that even Messi is even available to them, possibly on a free. That's me a lot of money and wages, but he could go to Manchester City on a free. This is how bad Barcelona have messed this up. This is terrible. I think Coleman's also a shocking manager as well. He managed Everton and Southampton and had unsuccessful stints at both of them. And now you're managing Barcelona, a job you should not even be at, and you're already alienating your players, your best player. Bizarre.
Very odd. I don't get it. Also, my bad. Bartholomew was an apostle. He was not the great. So I had to fact check myself there. I apologize for that.
Anyway. We appreciate that.
All right, let me quickly interject. We're all 19 and 20 years old, correct? Yeah, all three of us. If all three of us went into a meeting and met up with Messi and said, I'd go to him and say, we'll play your system. What system do you want to play? And Coleman tells him, oh, we're going to play my way. Excuse me, my guy. I mean, we just said it before Joe went on a whole Shrek analogy, but, like, let's face it. Like, Koeman's, like, absolutely in the wrong for doing this. Like, he needed to stabilize the club, and within a week of having the job, he has already thrown it to shreds pretty much. Like, Suarez is going to leave. Busquets looks like he's going to leave. Piqué literally told reporters that he would be willing to leave if it was better for the club.
Yeah.
That kind of just shows, like, this club, and Joe said it before, is going to be a mid-table team probably in La Liga. It's not a top-to-bottom really competitive league, which yesterday we talked about farmers leagues, and if that's really a case. But let's face it, the La Liga is not a top-to-bottom super competitive league like Premier League. So are they going to finish maybe in a Europa League spot, maybe fourth? I don't know. The point of the bottom line is they should be challenging for titles as a big club in Europe, and they might not even get out of their group in Champions League. That's how little confidence I have in them. Like, they're going to have to surround themselves around Griezmann next year, who needs a rebound. Will Coutinho now stay? Will Dembele play big minutes next year? I don't know because, yeah, that's the point. Dembele literally got onto the bench for the quarterfinal, and that was it. So we're talking about a forward line that's really, really suspect. And Koeman, honestly, to be quite honest with you two, I do not know. What's up, Joe? I have no idea what system Koeman plays. I would have to look it up. It doesn't matter because he had two poor jobs in the Premier League. The Dutch team, he's got quality players. That's the bottom line. They're getting carried by Virgil van Dijk, Matthias de Ligt, Frenkie de Jong, Depay. The list goes on. The Dutch national team's a very good team. So I don't know if it's much as a credit to what he does as a manager. I think it's just more better talking about the players. But the bottom line is Barcelona is shocking. They haven't replaced Neymar, which is one of the big issues. If I look at it from the last 5 years in the Champions League, they dropped out of the quarterfinal 4 of the times, and the only other time they got deeper was against Liverpool when they blew a 4-0 lead at Anfield. And that just shows how poor Barcelona are, and it is clearly unacceptable for what they are doing. And next season will be an awful season, I guarantee it. I think they will. I think that La Liga is not that good enough for them.
They probably have a good enough team to make Europa. But what's funny to me is they have money still. They're a very wealthy club. But the thing is, when you have Koeman running your team with that much money, if he's making the signings or not, his main transfer target is Michael Keane. This is a man that had a breakdown playing for Everton.
He's not even a top 15 center back in the Premier League.
Not top 15 in the Premier League. This guy had a breakdown because he had dealing with pressure at Everton. How is he going to play at Barcelona? And Koeman says, I want this guy to be my starting center back.
Holy cow, man.
So even with all the money that they have, you say, oh, well, Barca has money. They can just buy players and go get back to the top. No, Koeman is running your team. And you just lost your best player ever. And you want to bring in Depay and Michael Keane, a bunch of random Everton players. They used to.
Don't forget, blanking on the name, the striker, not Joe Linton. No.
Braithwaite?
On the name. No.
Braithwaite?
Where does he play?
That they're linked to?
Number seven.
They're linked?
On Everton.
League?
No, on Everton.
Charlton?
Richarlison, yeah.
They were linked to him. I do remember that. They were linked.
They put in $100 million bid for him earlier in the season.
I think he's worth it, to be quite honest.
Honestly, they upped it to 120. They upped it to 125.
Yeah, but if I'm Richarlison, I'm not.
I don't think he's worth $100 million, but he's a top class striker in my opinion.
If I'm Richarlison, I don't join the Shambles club. I don't do that.
Everton's in a better situation than Barcelona, and that's crazy. Literally, the second best team in their city with Liverpool and they're miles behind Liverpool, and yet they're still better than Barcelona, and it's not even close.
Shout out Ancelotti.
Ancelotti's going to be able to do something there.
He's doing work. I like.
It's the situation of Barcelona is one I've never seen in football before. I've never seen a team be at the apex of the sport, the top, and then literally just fall down and just have all these problems and have their best player ever completely just want out on a free. They won't even get money for him. The most that they'll get out of it is his wages that he'll get himself. Barca can get no money for him and have no one to replace him with because you can't replace him. I don't care if whoever you put on the planet, the only person you can replace him with is Ronaldo, but they don't play the same position. You can't bring in Ronaldo to Barcelona and have
It's not a straight swap.
same thing going. There's no one in the world that can compare to him. You can bring in to replace
Nobody's
him.
replicating his output.
If they couldn't do it with Neymar, how can they do it with Messi? This team is only going to get lower and lower until they figure something out. You know, and going away from Barcelona because how shambles they are. Manchester City. What do they do? I think you want to sign him for Pep Guardiola. You know, I guess financial fair play isn't a thing anymore because even if it is a free, I have heard his wages are about 100 mil a year, which means that to sign him on a 3-year, they have to spend 300 mil on just wages because it'd be a free. And City is probably willing to do that, but again, you have to call into question financial fair play, all these things that go into like that signing. It's tricky because also Barcelona want to block this deal. Barcelona either say you're going to stay because Bartomeu's crazy, he's delusional, and wants Messi to stay.
And he's out of contract now, right?
He's either out of or I think it is. He's out of contract because what happened was the clause that he wants to use is a release clause, which allows him to go on a free if he activates it. Which they said was before like COVID, it was gonna expire before COVID, but he says it got extended because they still continue to play. And he says I should leave on a free. Barca said no, you're either gonna stay and play for us, or other teams have to play the release clause, which is 700 million.
You know who can afford that release clause? Manchester City.
They could. They want to.
They probably could. To be quite honest with you,
if they want to ruin their club completely, like because if you 700 million is a lot of money for them because that would hurt their transfer. Like,
I don't think they have a budget though. What is?
Yeah, but the problem is though, if they spend 700 mil, I don't trust financial fair play. But that is the most blatant financial fair play violation if there is one.
And the decision they made 2 months ago now is going to bite everybody in the butt because they decided that they weren't going to penalize them for things they were doing wrong.
Yeah,
so
and
because they cooperated.
And also that stuff is like under wraps. If they spent 700 million, that is out in the open. That's a known because it's the biggest player ever. Manchester City. I mean, I wanted Messi personally to go to Inter Milan. I thought that was the destination he was going to go to. I thought him playing under Conte in a good system, not playing under like a team that is just monopolized the league. I think I'd like him at Inter, but like City is just like I mean, I want him to leave Barca, but that's the destination that you really want to go to. I guess Pep is.
Well, it makes sense. It does make sense. I understand why City wants to go. I'm not even gonna get mad at Messi for wanting to go there because, like that's the manager you probably you loved.
Yeah, I'll bring the numbers up once you're done with this point.
Yeah, it's like what's hilarious is we've seen Mr. Frankie Lampard spend hundreds of millions of pounds last week or so just for Messi to get sold to his rival and then negate everything he just did. So
yeah, they're going to finish third, and it's not even a question.
This is
here. Let me just quickly bring the numbers up of what Pep did at Barcelona with Messi, because clearly that's going to be his manager. Believe it was 4 years. I think it was 2008 to 2012 from what I remember from last night when I looked at it. But 3 league titles, 2 Champions Leagues in 4 years. Yeah. So clearly there's a good relationship between those two guys. I don't remember why in 2012 Pep left the club. I don't vividly remember. I probably wasn't watching world football that much at that time. So, but the fact if you just want to look at straight numbers, that is lethal. And who knows what he could do. We saw Pep struggle in the Champions League. That's clearly still their number one priority. He's clearly shown that this year when they were pretty much down in the water against Liverpool, down 20-something points for most of the season in honest reality. And Joe has now left us again. How they're part 800, but
yeah. Anyways, also, I don't think Pep Guardiola is a complete fool like Coman is. If you bring in Messi, probably tell Messi first meeting, Messi, this is your team, by the way. We're gonna build. I'm gonna.
And they have Kevin De Bruyne.
You. We have Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne is going to help you. We're not gonna tell Messi first time it comes in. This is our system. Let's play our system. Why? Because Pep isn't an idiot. Pep isn't Coman.
Okay. Well, if you want to talk about in terms of Coman.
Agendas. Yeah, I mean, I don't think Pep if Pep is serious, he might play three like he did against Leon and play three CDMs, but Messi at CDM, to be honest. But he won't be that dumb. I'm kind of dumbfounded, really. I did the news that he wanted out and immediately was linked with City has me rattled. I was literally just Arsenal.
No, I'm angry, fuming.
Oh yeah, you is. This is you. I'm not even. We're not even title. Me and Joe don't support clubs that are title contenders, and now our whole season is finished. Like we're not battling for fourth place now. Forget third. Forget second. It's fourth.
I mean, literally, we talked about it last night. I mean, it's literally every single club in the Premier League, maybe even in the world, to be quite honest with you, versus Manchester City now. I literally hate what happened last night. And maybe hate's a strong word. I extremely am fuming. That's the bottom line. I mean, it's clearly unacceptable in my opinion. I don't like it. Financial fair play, which we talked about 2 months ago on a video, like that pretty much just throws it out all the water because we were talking about players leaving the club. We were talking about Kevin De Bruyne saying, "Oh, I'm out. I need to go win a Champions League," and it's not going to happen at Manchester City if they have a ban because they'll be gone for 2 years. And in 2 months, now 2 months forward, and the best player in the world and probably the best player of all time is now joining the club. I mean, Liverpool, I biased, yes. I'm clearly going to hope and pray that Liverpool can still pull off a title again. But let's face it, there's no left back in the league that can really shut him down, like completely shut him down. I've seen Robertson frustrated him in the second leg at Anfield last year. And he's probably going to be playing with a better team because Barcelona, even at that time, was starting left wing Coutinho, and that's kind of out of position to be quite honest with you. And that was the worst night in their history, probably one of the worst nights in Barcelona history. But the bottom line is, pretty much that epitomizes it because that was probably one of the best nights of my life. And I didn't even get to watch the game because I was at baseball practice in high school.
I was watching that game and we were kind of shook when that happened.
I'd believe it.
Yeah. Who would have known a better comeback would happen the next day? That's
why.
Time out.
It's very legendary, but it's not the same. Yes. Yeah, but the second one was not the same. It's cool. Aren't we? Yeah, I'm down for it. Join the club for the year. I mean,
I'm a top red this season.
I mean, let's face it. If you want to go player by player example, Allison, yes, he'll beat Ederson any day of the week. The center backs at this moment in time, Koulibaly is not signed, so I would say Liverpool still wins the center backs. Virgil van Dijk's clear the best in the world, in my opinion, and Joe Gomez is not been elite, but there's still potential. What? Yes, Joe?
You got to remember when you got in a fight with Sterling
that was – I remember that was stupid.
Oh, that was before quarantine and everything. Those were good times. You know what I would give to go back to that, man?
Maybe we'll get it back one day.
Joe Gomez beating up Sterling. Yeah, I definitely think about that. Going back.
I'll keep continuing.
Better than now.
Trent Alexander-Arnold or Kyle Walker. I mean, I'd take Trent. I mean, I don't know about you. Robertson versus whoever they want to play at left back. So clearly the back.
Zinchenko, right?
Or Angelino, who's coming back from Leipzig.
Leipzig want to buy him. And he wants
that makes sense. He played well for Leipzig. But the bottom line is that back five, I think almost everybody besides Laporte maybe gets into the Liverpool team. That might be it, though. So that's clear there. But let's face it, Robertson's not going to be able on his own to shut down Messi. Messi's the best player of all time. And even double teaming him with whoever plays left center back that day is troubling. And that's only 2 games of the year. We said it last night. At the Hawthorns for West Brom, have fun. You're going to let them score about 8 goals a game. We can go the list. Fulham's going to poorly defend them. Villa. The list goes on. I believe Messi will have 50 goal contributions next year, and that's not even like a gamble. I believe that's relatively possible.
When Manchester City plays Burnley at Turf Moor, Sean Dyche will personally go onto the field and defend as well. He'll become the 12th center back become a 12th center back, and they're going to play a back 15, and they'll have another goalkeeper back there as well, and Messi will still score a hat-trick. So
I'm gonna call it right now. Burnley's gonna somehow ease out a draw. They're gonna draw one game they shouldn't.
they're gonna bore a draw. Yeah. They're not even gonna counter. They're just gonna get the ball and clear it every time. Not even counter.
Hey, but Ederson might be like 50 yards out of the goal line. So maybe if Nick Pope hits a nice kick, 1-0 win.
Ederson's gonna come out and just punch Messi in the face and knock him out of the game.
Yeah.
He's gonna Superman punch him like what?
Pep is playing him at CDM for some reason, and Ederson comes off his line. It's finished. Yeah. I mean, personally, I was gonna make another because
Shrek reference?
No, personally, my favorite attacker. My favorite attacker in the Premier League right now is Harry Maguire. I think he's the most lethal striker in the Premier League. But it's not really relevant to the topic. I want to say that.
3 convictions, 3 convictions, 0 trophies. What a night!
I mean, if I'm a United fan, I'm fuming right now.
Honestly, it might be better that Salah gets out there. It might be better.
And then having your rival club about to sign the greatest player ever, and you couldn't get Sancho for 100 mil, and City's like 300 mil. Maybe you might do it in a couple of days. You don't know. United, I mean, without Bruno Fernandes, they're really just.
We said this yesterday.
We've spoken about this before in the past. I mean, but if I'm United, I'm very upset. Arsenal, I mean, we weren't a title contending team, Arsenal, anyways. But having Messi in the league just puts such a big. Like, I love Messi too. I hate that he goes to City, but it gives us no hope to even get top 4 now.
Someone said Levy was going to offer Barcelona 12 million euros in installments of.
That is such a Spurs thing to do.
With an addition of 1/4.
Yeah. Well, they'll throw in 1/4 in there. To be quality.
The incentive.
Yeah. I'm speechless.
Anyway, go pool.
Oh my!
At this point, City, if City sign Lionel Messi.
And
there's
Koulibaly.
and Koulibaly, because then they'll have three.
Koulibaly and Laporte.
They'll have 3 kind of world class level-ish center backs. They'll have Ake, Koulibaly.
I don't even know Ake's world class.
Ake's not world class.
He's right. I'm saying ish because he's not going to be
He's
there.
a good player.
He's class.
He's very, very good. Next to Van Dijk for the Netherlands national, but he looks better because of Van Dijk. And I think he's quality. But when you have those 3 and Lionel Messi on your team, there's no excuses.
No! If they don't win the Champions League,
if they don't win the treble, they need to win the treble for me. And if they don't,
4 trophies.
4.
4. All 4.
If they win all 4, the Pep slander is getting off.
But then, Joe said this yesterday. He did say this. He has the class because Joe's biggest motivation for everything in football is agendas, and his agendas are clash. So if Messi is successful, it helps his Messi agenda because Ronaldo fanboys love to say Messi. They get mad at him for not challenging himself to go into a different league. And now he's going to a different league and saying, he's too scared to stay at Barcelona. If he wins, he's challenging himself in a different league. But that also hurts his Pep agenda because Pep is supposed to be a fraud. So if he has Messi now and they win a quadruple or a treble, this hurts his Pep agenda.
I care more about my Pep agenda, to be honest, because I like Ronaldo. I like Ronaldo a lot, and I think, honestly, I still would put the skill argument in for Messi.
Ronaldo performs better in the UCL.
Correct. He's the greatest UCL player ever.
Yes, no question. But
one day we're gonna have to do a Messi versus Ronaldo debate on here.
There is no debate.
There is no debate, but in a specific competition like the UCL, nobody gets close to Ronaldo. I mean, he does everything. Like, look at him this year. Like, Juve's in the mud. Juve was in the mud with Sarri, and he put them on their back and nearly got them through when Paulo Dybala played 30 minutes with a shut down thigh. Like, that club was a mess this year, and Ronaldo is class in the UCL.
Ronaldo's at 34, 35 now.
35 years old.
Does not slow down, and in my opinion, is the second greatest soccer player ever, the best Champions League player ever, and maybe the best goal scorer ever. But as far as all-around player, skill-wise, Lionel Messi is a more skilled player than Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yes,
personally.
Absolutely.
And I don't think – and this is getting a little off, but I think Ronaldo can disappear from games sometimes because he gets isolated on the left wing. It's very rare that Lionel Messi will disappear from the game because the ball's at his feet a lot. And off the ball, he'll always create. He will get the ball and make things happen. Ronaldo has to rely a little bit on getting the ball on the left wing. He's isolated in his one-on-ones or headers. Now, he's the best at those. He's the best at heading the ball, finishing. You know, he's an unreal scorer. But Messi, everything he does he's the top scorer at Barcelona, top assister. He's had, I think, 3 games where he scored like 4 or 5 goals this season. He's had 5+ games with 3 goals, 2 assists. If you count like the top scorers at Barcelona, it's like Messi and like Suarez or whatever. Then like third or fourth would be Messi from free kicks, something like that. It's a ridiculous stat. Like he has goals from free kicks more than people just score goals regularly.
People don't. Everyone's like Ronaldo's the best free kick taker ever. Okay, but Messi's up there. Messi, I personally think Messi's a little bit better. Well,
I think
we got a lot of good free kick takers in the world right now.
There's the crazy free kick takers in the world.
Trent is fire. Trent is fire.
Well,
KDB,
Ericsson used to be good. KDB fire.
Yeah.
Xhaka.
I mean, he's better than David Luiz, I would say, at free kicks, but not much. He's got a crazy left foot in the run of play. But Messi in a Pep team where Pep's letting him control, him and KDB in the middle, kind of advanced role, making things happen with Sterling on one side, Aguero down the middle, Messi on the right, making plays, KDB just watching all these runs happen. And then if they add Koulibaly and Laporte and Ake in the mix, and you have Kyle Walker flying up from God knows where on the right wing.
I mean, Messi in the cut, it's a scary sight, man.
I mean, what do you think they're going to – I think they'll get over 100 points, and easily.
They should.
As long as there's no Pep stinkers.
This is still Messi in his mid-30s, but it doesn't matter because he comes into the Premier League as the best player already, regardless of his age.
Who's better than him?
The only player that's contending with him is KDB, and I still think I'd take a Messi over KDB. So.
Yeah, Messi on City, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so
no, KDB's never no. KDB's never been better than him, but obviously as Messi,
this past season,
whenever he does regress.
Yeah, as long as like going by season, yeah, KDB's had an amazing season, but like Messi's legacy, he's in the greatest of all time conversation. KDB isn't there yet. KDB has to move to
I think he's got to win the Champions League.
He's win Champions Leagues.
They better leave City then.
He has to be a Ballon d'Or. Messi has how many Ballon d'Ors, man?
But it's also rigged for him and Ronaldo, though.
But
I think Virgil van Dijk should have won it. Obviously, I'm biased.
Of course you did. But most of those years, though, he was the best performer those years, though. Most of those years. And if we're going to be honest, they didn't have a Ballon d'Or this year, which is so stupid because Lewandowski should have won it. This is disgusting.
Well, especially after the Champions League final, too. He just won that treble.
I'm so confused about it. They just don't want to have a Ballon d'Or this season. I'm very confused.
It was clear, too.
And it was supposed to be Lewandowski's year, and they just don't want to give it to him. It's embarrassing. Football, we've said it on the show multiple times. Money runs the world and runs football, certainly. If you have a lot of money in football, you will win. That's how it works. You know, you have the years with Monaco, Leicester City, these small teams that don't have the most money or the most resources, and they'll have a miracle season to win a league or win a big trophy. But in reality, Man City, PSG, Barcelona, all those top teams that have money and resources, they will stick to the top. Now, Barcelona is a team that has the wealth, and they're not going to do well still. They're an anomaly because of who they have at the top. But it's really the news coming out the last couple of days is crazy. I can't believe we actually have Messi going to Manchester City possibly. And just
he's going to NYCFC afterwards too.
I mean,
that doesn't surprise me.
I expect him and Ronaldo to end up in the MLS at some point because they could be 45 in MLS.
I bet you Ronaldo goes to Inter Miami with Beckham.
Yeah, or either that or LAFC actually.
Good point. Yeah, I think. Well, I wanted to quickly say something before. I think this year, I think you just mentioned before that Ronaldo you thought can kind of be out of games sometimes on the left wing. I think he had a bad start to the season. It might have been last season or this year or both. Couldn't be sure in Serie A, but I feel like this season more, I think it's actually the opposite, obviously because Barcelona's worse. I think Barcelona's in more trouble than Juve. Juve needs to just refresh the squad. Their board really isn't that bad. It's just the squad just wasn't – and Sarri's just not a good manager for that team and the way it was set up.
And they hired Pirlo, who just became the under-23 coach, and now he's the head coach.
And I thought that – my honest opinion, if I had to guess, which Pep's out of contract after this season, Pirlo stays the year, probably does some good things, maybe wins the Serie A, and then he leaves and Pep comes in. That's what I thought. Not anymore, though, because I think as long as Messi's at City, barring some catastrophic season from Manchester City where they don't win anything or all they win is the League Cup, which was what they did this year, he'll be there he'll be there for the entirety of Messi being at Barcelona. No questions asked. So, but just quickly, for Ronaldo, I think Ronaldo, I mentioned it before, was lethal this year, but we can always have that conversation. That'll be an ongoing conversation until both retire. Similarly to Michael Jordan versus LeBron James, that's the same conversation we can have in world football. But, yeah, I don't know. I wanted to ask one quick question from both of you, obviously as a Liverpool fan. What on earth would this be like if Liverpool are able to win the title again and Manchester City are not able to pull this off? What would that be like?
The Pep agenda is just going to go crazy. Like,
besides that, of course, though.
What would it look like? I mean, Liverpool fans are just going to get even more unbearable than they already are. Not you. I love you, Christian. But, like, Liverpool fans on Twitter are, like, it's literally going, like, they literally called the 2020 Liverpool team the Unbearables because their fans are going insane already.
If Liverpool manages to win the title with Lionel Messi in the league for Manchester City, Liverpool fans will say Jordan Henderson is the greatest football player of all time. And I'm not even joking. They will say that. They will say Jordan Henderson is the best player to play the sport.
I mean, they're going to put Fabinho's going to have to man mark him pretty much like they did last time in the UCL in the second leg. I mean, Virgil van Dijk will then be in the conversation for the best defender of all time. Guaranteed.
Oh, let's here we go. Here we go. You know,
Joe, Leo Messi is the best player. Joe, he's going to have to shut down the best player of all time.
He's had like this will be his third season on top. Let's calm it down a little bit. You know what? This is another time.
He'll be in the conversation. I did not say he will be. He'll
be
Joe, he's going to have to shut down the best player of all time. Please stop it.
Wait, you said defender? You said defender?
It's not like they're playing. It's not like there's a 7-game series between City and Liverpool.
They're going to have to play twice.
At least minimum twice because they might play in the competitions later on too, possibly. But Christian, you say defender of all time?
Yeah.
Joe, who do you think? Who's above him?
Ramos.
Whoa! What? You're doing that? You're saying
Sergio Ramos is a better defender. I'm done here. You think
go eat your croissant? Go eat your croissant.
Right here.
Are you talking about current? Are you guys talking about currently or legacy?
In this generation, he will be the best defender.
Legacy.
I'm saying in this generation, he will be the best defender. Why are you showing the croissant to the YouTube channel?
Anyway,
Sergio Ramos over Virgil? Stop it. That fraud over there, that injured Salah. We would have won 2 Champions League in a row if Salah didn't get hurt.
Anyways,
I don't want to go on this right now.
We forgot to talk about something.
Go ahead.
We neglected to talk about how Granit Xhaka will shut down Lionel Messi. Tactically.
No, Ben Davies.
That's too far.
Ben Davies.
You know, I realized something too. There's talk on Twitter, Arsenal Twitter. We need Arteta to get on the phone with Messi and just tell him his vision. Because we have the most pull in the Premier League outside of Manchester City and Liverpool.
Oh, brother.
Arteta, just tell Messi your vision. And, you know, who knows? Lionel Messi, Arsenal player. Just saying, you know?
Still wouldn't win anything.
All right,
Thank you guys for tuning in. We have Arsenal propaganda here. We got to turn it off.
You're talking about Shrek.
Bro, we talked about Shrek while you laughed for 3 minutes on this podcast today.
Hey, Shrek propaganda is good. It's a cinematic masterpiece.
While I agree, Joe, everyone listening, Joe had an absolute stinker today, all day today.
It took us 2 hours to record this and about 7
And we got
tries.
one more recording to do.
Sure. We'll see if that happens. But thank you for checking out today. Definitely a very interesting show on Joe's standards. He's having a great day over there, I guess.
That Shrek reference was pretty good.
Why do you keep referencing? I'm trying to conclude.
Please move on, please.
But thank you for watching. We'll be coming out with some more transfers. One came out today, but we'll talk about that in another video. But just stay tuned. Give us some more video ideas if you want to see anything. We'll be coming out with predictions because the season starts in a few weeks. So stay tuned.